Are daily water changes bad for flowerhorn fish? Just explained in this video. Friends, what about performing regular routine water changes? Are daily water changes bad for flowerhorn fish? While there are arguments for and against performing daily water changes, the truth is that there is no definitive answer. It really depends on the flowerhorn fish species, the flowerhorn fish environment, and the flowerhorn fish keeper's goals. So let's discuss in more details and let me tell you some more points with evidences. But before that, I welcome you all to my channel Blue Aquatics. Where you get the best knowledge of flowerhorn fish keeping. Many flowerhorn fish owners know the importance of changing the water to maintain a healthy aquarium. They also know that water changes are sometimes necessary to correct problems such as high nitrate levels. There are some benefits to performing daily water changes. For example, it can help keep the water quality high and prevent problems before they start. Additionally, it can be a good way to bond with your flowerhorn fish. But there can also be some drawbacks to daily water changes. This video will go over the benefits and drawbacks of daily water changes so you can make informed choices about whether they are right for your flowerhorn fish. Now let's discuss the purpose of water changes. Friends, an aquarium is an enclosed system and the water quality can degrade over time. The buildup of waste products such as ammonia and nitrates can harm flowerhorn fish. Additionally, algae and other debris accumulation can make the water murky and unattractive. Water changes help address these issues by removing and replacing some of the water with fresh, clean water. It dilutes the concentration of waste products and debris, making the water safe for flowerhorn fish. Water changes can also help remove any buildup of algae and other debris from the aquarium. Now let's put light on types of water changes. Friends, there are two main types of water changes: partial and complete. A partial water change involves removing some water from the aquarium and replacing it with fresh water. The amount of water removed and replaced will vary, typically around 25%. On the other hand, a complete water change involves removing all the water from the aquarium and replacing it with fresh water. It is usually only done when the water quality is bad or a major problem, such as ammonia levels. However, one should be wondering how often should flowerhorn fish water be changed? Friends, the frequency of water changes will vary depending on flowerhorn fish type, the aquarium size, and the water quality. As a general thumb rule is that it is a good idea to perform a partial water change of around 25% per week. It will help to maintain excellent water quality and avoid problems from arising. For particularly sensitive flowerhorn fish or living in a small aquarium, you may need to perform water changes more often. Some flowerhorn fish keepers perform daily water changes, which is important for flowerhorn fish sensitive to water conditions. Additionally, daily water changes can be a good way to bond with your flowerhorn fish. An important thought could be, are daily water changes bad for flowerhorn fish? Friends, this question has no definitive answer. Water changes benefit your flowerhorn fish, but can also be stressful. This is because flowerhorn fish prefer stability and sudden changes can be stressful. As you know, water from different sources has different water parameters like pH, hardness, and temperature. When changing water, it is impossible to match the water parameter of your aquarium 100%. So, some changes are always inevitable. These water parameter changes can be stressful for flowerhorn fish, especially sudden ones. If you do daily water changes, your flowerhorn fish must adjust to new water conditions daily, which can prove stressful. When you remove water from the aquarium, you also remove some of the beneficial bacteria that live in the filter. These bacteria break down waste products and keep the water quality high. Since removing them can cause a sudden drop in water quality, resulting in harming flowerhorn fish. For these reasons, you should be careful when performing water changes. If you do decide to do daily water changes, it is important to make sure that the water you are adding is as close to the same as the water you are removing. Additionally, you should not remove too much water at once, as this can cause a sudden drop in water quality. Now let's discuss, is a 50% water change too much? Friends, 50% water change can be too much if the water parameters of your aquarium water and the replacement water are not close enough. This can cause a sudden change in water parameters that can be stressful or harmful to flowerhorn fish. Furthermore, removing too much water at once can damage the nitrogen cycle since it removes beneficial bacteria. However, there will be some times that a 50% water change is necessary, such as when the water quality is very poor or there is a need to correct a serious problem such as ammonia poisoning or a bacterial bloom. In these cases, it is important to take care when performing the water change and to ensure that the replacement water is as close to the same as the water you are removing. Now the big question, can I do 100% water change in my flowerhorn fish tank? Friends, 100% water change should only be done in extreme cases where the flowerhorn fish is severely sick or the water quality is very poor. This is because a complete water change can be very stressful for flowerhorn fish and even kill them if not done properly. When performing a 100% water change, it is important to ensure that the replacement water meets the ideal water parameters of your flowerhorn fish. Further, you must add beneficial bacteria to the replacement water to ensure that the flowerhorn fish do not experience a sudden drop in water quality. You can add beneficial bacteria by using some products available in the market or by adding media from an established aquarium. Finally, you must slowly accumulate the flowerhorn fish to the new water to avoid shocking them. Now let's discuss how to do 100% water change in your aquarium. Friends, before making any changes, you must transfer your flowerhorn fish into a separate tank with some water from your aquarium. A 100% water change must be done without flowerhorn fish in your aquarium. After that, clean your aquarium completely. This includes all decoration, gravel, and filter media. Once the aquarium is empty, clean it with a non-toxic cleaner like white vinegar. After the aquarium is clean, fill it back up with water. The replacement water must match the ideal water parameters for your flowerhorn fish. You can use a commercial product like Seachem Prime to remove chlorine and chloramine from the water. You must also add beneficial bacteria to the replacement water. This can be done using a product like Tetra Safe Start or adding media from an established aquarium. Finally, you must slowly accumulate the flowerhorn fish to the new water to avoid shocking them. Alternatively, is 30% water change too much? Friends, 30% water change is not too much if the time between water changes is less than a week. This time is important for the tank to establish a colony of beneficial bacteria. The important thing is not to change too much water at once. This can harm flowerhorn fish as it can cause a sudden drop in water quality and can cause stress. Now let's discuss that can one change aquarium water every 3 days. Friends, if you change only about 10 to 25% water, it should be safe to do so every 3 days. This will help to maintain high water quality while minimizing stress on the flowerhorn fish. However, if you change more than 25% at a time, it is best to do so only once a week to avoid stressing the flowerhorn fish. A situation can arise that why are your flowerhorn fish swimming upside down after water change? Friends, if your flowerhorn fish were doing fine before the water change and are now swimming upside down, the water parameters have likely changed too much. Flowerhorn fish swim upside down after water change because of environmental stress. In extreme cases, flowerhorn fish undergo instant shock, leading to death. The best way to avoid environmental stress or instant shock is to make sure you do not do huge water changes and slowly accumulate the flowerhorn fish to the new water. If you must do huge water changes, do it gradually over several hours. This will aid in avoiding abrupt changes in water parameters, which might stress the flowerhorn fish. Now let's discuss what are the ideal parameters for the flowerhorn fish. Friends, the ideal water parameters for your flowerhorn fish will depend on your flowerhorn fish species. Generally, you should maintain a tropical flowerhorn fish tank at temperatures between 76 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The pH should be between 6.5 to 7.5 and the hardness should be between 5 and 15 DH. When setting up your aquarium, it is always preferable to consult a professional to ensure that the water parameters are perfect for your flowerhorn fish. Well, if a situation arises that a flowerhorn fish died after water change. Friends, flowerhorn fish are extremely sensitive to changes in water temperatures, hardness and pH. When a flowerhorn fish is exposed to a new environment with different conditions, it experiences what is known as osmotic shock. This occurs when the flowerhorn fish's body cannot adjust to the new water conditions, leading to dehydration and death. In most cases, flowerhorn fish die after a water change because they cannot tolerate the sudden change in their environment. To avoid this, it is important to slowly assimilate flowerhorn fish to new water conditions by mixing the old and new water over an hour or more. By taking these precautionary measures, you can ensure that your flowerhorn fish can adjust to their new home safely. Friends, now the situation arises that how do you save a dying flowerhorn fish after water change? If the water quality is poor, such as due to high or low pH level or excessively cold or warm temperature. There is little you can do other than remove the flowerhorn fish and transfer it right away to a tank with proper water conditions. Even after you do this, the flowerhorn fish may not survive. If the water quality is not the issue, you need to find out what is stressing the flowerhorn fish. This could be caused by anything from excessive light to a shortage of oxygen in the water. Once you have identified the source of your flowerhorn fish stress, you may work to eliminate it. In some cases, flowerhorn fish die after a water change because they are not acclimated properly to the new water conditions. To prevent this, it is important to slowly acclimate flowerhorn fish to a new water condition by mixing the old and new water over an hour or more. Lastly, are daily water changes bad for flowerhorn fish? Friends, daily water changes are not bad for flowerhorn fish if done correctly. However, if you change more than 25% of the water at a time, it is best to do so only once a week to avoid stressing the flowerhorn fish. If you must do huge water changes, do it gradually over several hours. This will help avoid sudden changes in water parameters that can stress the flowerhorn fish. Thanks for watching this video. I am sure you liked it. Subscribe to my channel Blue Aquatics and ring the bell icon so you never miss any important update. Have a happy flowerhorn fish keeping.